the early hours of March 24th, 1998, a young woman vanished from a cruise ship in the Caribbean, leaving behind a world of questions. Amy Lynn Bradley was just 23 years old, enjoying a vacation that would soon turn into a nightmare. But what happened next would haunt her family and the world for decades. Amy Lynn Bradley was born on May 12, 1975, in Petersburg, Virginia. Growing up, she was known for her bright smile, adventurous spirit, and love for music. She was a talented saxophonist, and her passion for life inspired those around her. By the time she reached her 20s, Amy had developed a close-knit bond with her family and friends, who often described her as a free spirit. In March 1998, Amy, accompanied by her parents, Ron and Eva, and her brother Brad, embarked on a Caribbean cruise aboard the Rhapsody of the Seas, a Royal Caribbean ship. This cruise was meant to be a fun-filled getaway, a chance to relax and enjoy the beauty of the Caribbean. Little did they know, this trip would soon take a dark turn. The family planned to visit several beautiful islands, including Aruba and Curacao, but on the night of March 24th, everything changed. After a day of lounging in the sun and enjoying onboard activities, Amy was last seen on the ship's deck. It was around 5 a.m. when she went missing, leaving her family frantic and desperate for answers. The initial response to Amy's disappearance was swift. The crew of the Rhapsody of the Seas conducted a thorough search of the ship, scouring every corner, but there was no sign of Amy. As hours turned into days, the situation grew increasingly dire. The ship's captain notified the authorities, and a search and rescue operation was launched by the U.S. Coast Guard. Divers searched the waters surrounding the ship, but it was as if Amy had vanished into thin air. The ship docked in Curacao later that day, and Amy's family was devastated. They had lost their beloved daughter and sister without a trace. As the weeks passed, speculation began to arise. The cruise line maintained that Amy had fallen overboard, a theory that many in her family struggled to accept. They believed that there was more to the story and that their daughter was abducted. Meanwhile, they began to receive reports from various individuals claiming they had seen Amy in the years following her disappearance. These sightings would spark a new wave of investigation, but would they lead to any concrete evidence? As the investigation progressed, a few crucial sightings of Amy began to emerge. One of the first reports came just a few days after her disappearance. A woman claimed she saw a young woman resembling Amy at a bar in Curacao. The woman was allegedly in the company of two men, raising suspicion about her well-being. The family learned about this sighting through media coverage, and it led them to believe that their daughter might have been trafficked. In the years that followed, several more sightings were reported. In 1999, a couple vacationing in Aruba claimed they spotted a woman matching Amy's description in a local nightclub, again with two men. They described her as being in distress, and the couple felt compelled to report their sighting to the authorities. Unfortunately, these reports did not lead to any concrete evidence, and the investigation seemed to stall. The family continued to search for answers, hiring private investigators and launching their own campaigns to find Amy. They believed that if they could just reach the right people, they might uncover crucial information. But time was slipping away, and with it, the hope of bringing Amy home. The search for Amy took a shocking turn when in 2005, a photograph surfaced that seemed to show her. The image depicted a young woman who bore a striking resemblance to Amy, accompanied by a group of individuals, many of whom appeared to be involved in a criminal lifestyle. The photograph was sent to the Bradley family by a concerned citizen who believed they had found Amy. The family was both hopeful and terrified. Was this the breakthrough they had been waiting for, or simply another false lead? They quickly shared the image with the authorities, who confirmed that they would investigate further. However, after extensive comparisons and analysis, Authorities determined that the woman in the photograph was not Amy. The disappointment was palpable, but the family refused to give up. They continued to receive tips and leads, and even appeared on national television programs to spread awareness about Amy's story. With every new sighting, the hope of finding her alive flickered anew. But it was a double-edged sword, as each false lead brought additional heartache. As the years rolled by, the case of Amy Lynn Bradley remained open but cold. Her family continued to advocate for her, participating in interviews and sharing their experiences with the media. They were relentless in their pursuit of justice, even as the cruise line maintained that Amy had likely fallen overboard. In 2011, Amy's family took a significant step by hiring a private investigator named John O'Rourke, who specialized in missing persons cases. O'Rourke brought a fresh perspective to the investigation and began to explore the possibility of trafficking, a theory that Amy's family strongly supported. He interviewed numerous witnesses and followed up on old leads, but the challenge was immense. The case had become shrouded in mystery, and many of the initial witnesses could no longer be located. Yet, O'Rourke remained determined, believing that the key to solving the case lay hidden in the shadows. Meanwhile, Amy's family established the Amy Lynn Bradley Foundation, dedicated to raising awareness about missing persons and human trafficking. They hoped that by shining a light on Amy's case, they could help prevent similar tragedies from occurring. Though the investigation into Amy Lynn Bradley's disappearance has been ongoing for over 2 decades, many questions remain unanswered. Did Amy truly fall overboard as the cruise line insists, or was she abducted and trafficked, as her family believes? The absence of definitive evidence leaves a cloud of uncertainty hanging over the case. The stories of the sightings, the heartbreaking testimonies, and the tireless efforts of her family paint a haunting picture. While the world has largely moved on, Amy's family continues to seek closure. They have endured a painful journey, filled with hope and despair, as they fight for justice. But the mystery of what happened to Amy Lynn Bradley endures, and her case remains an unsettling reminder of the vulnerability we all face. As we conclude this tragic story, we are left with lingering questions. Will Amy ever be found? What truly happened on that fateful night? And who is responsible for her disappearance? The answers remain elusive, locked away in the depths of the sea.